turn the camera.
Bring your chair in, George.
Yeah,
So
right. Now, the situation is that because of the time now, I have to leave at 3:30. It's 3:16. So.
How much time do we need for the first part?
We can take what we have about 10 minutes, then I have to leave.
Okay.
And then you can continue to ask questions after I leave, and I can come back.
Okay, now let's start then from with you. You start and then
Okay.
we'll continue.
Okay. Colin, your book is about radical forgiveness. What is radical forgiveness?
Well, I can only answer that question by saying what it isn't, or to compare it with conventional forgiveness.
Okay, let me start you over again.
All right, and you just bounced past your thing, so I need to come out a little bit because you just came past your border.
That's great.
And,
Okay.
and I'm getting things I don't want to get in here. There's something over here. Oh, I'm getting part of the microphone,
Yeah, yeah.
so that needs to be moved out. And now I'm getting the base of the microphone. If you could just not move forward quite that much, it would be a lot better.
Okay.
So let me,
Maybe I'll move it.
yeah, that's
Out,
good.
out,
Okay,
out.
yes.
Okay, let me start that over again.
Hold on. Okay.
My question is going to be, what is radical forgiveness? And your answer is going to start with radical forgiveness is, instead of referring to my question.
Okay.
Ready? Good. Colin, what is radical forgiveness?
Radical forgiveness is a way of helping people release the pain of the past, things that they have been victimized by, their old stories of being hurt and being victimized in many different ways. And it's a quick way of doing it, and it's an easy way of doing it.
What do you mean when you say pain from the past?
What I mean by pain from the past is that where we have been hurt, people have abandoned us, betrayed us, stolen from us, and then we can't get over the idea that we've been betrayed or hurt in some way. And that causes pain in the body, causes pain in the emotional body, causes pain everywhere, and it affects the way we live. And my work is to help people to release that pain so that they can live a life that they really want to live, free of pain, and able to move forward in their lives in a much more productive way.
Are you telling us that something happened yesterday can hurt today?
Absolutely, absolutely, because it's an energy situation. When we're hurt, when somebody does something to us that really is painful, it goes into the body as an energy pattern. And that gets locked up into the cellular structure of the body, it gets locked up into the energetic pattern in the emotional body and in the spiritual body. So it's always going to be there until some form of therapy unlocks it and allows the person to shift that energy. And only then can we really get to a place of forgiveness of what happened, because otherwise that energy pattern remains locked, and no matter how hard we try to, as people say, just let it go. Well, how do you let that energy pattern go? How do you unlock that energy pattern in a way that will allow people to really, really release the pain, as opposed to imagine that they have released the pain?
It sounds to me like you discovered a way for people to change the past.
And to change it very quickly.
Okay.
That's the difference.
If you do this, you'll say, yes, I really did discover a way almost to change the past. Or something like that.
Yeah, we've discovered a way to do this in a way that's very quick and very easy, and anybody can do it. It doesn't require you to be a special person. Now, conventional forgiveness universally is considered to be very difficult. And you have to be some sort of special person to be able to do it. And with radical forgiveness, what we've come up with is a method, and no other form of forgiveness usually gives you a method. They say you should do it, this is what you should do. You should do forgiveness, you should be forgiving. but very few people have ever come up with a system that shows you how to do it. And that's what I've come up with, is a method that enables anybody, doesn't matter how intelligent they are, doesn't matter how spiritual they are, doesn't matter whether they meditate, doesn't matter whether they're vegetarian, anybody using the tools that we have created can release that pain and begin to live their life as they really want to live it. Because people who feel victimized are very contracted, they're very restricted, they're people who are focused on being a victim, and therefore that really makes them their life. I lost it there.
There's no problem.
Okay.
That's why it's so big.
Okay.
People who are victims. It's sort of,
Can you slide back just a little bit? You keep
Okay. Going too far?
you keep coming too close and
Yeah.
you're getting into it, but you're getting into it physically.
yeah.
right?
If you
Yeah,
push
yeah,
your
yeah.
chair back a little bit, that would be okay because you're gonna get into it.
Okay. So when we're in pain, and when we're carrying the pain of the past, normally unconsciously, by the way, that's part of the problem, is that we don't always know that we got this pain. We don't always know that we got this pain. We're carrying it around with us, and people say, "How are you?" We say, "I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with my life. It seems okay." But deep down, they're carrying a lot of anger, carrying a lot of resentment and things like that as a result of what had happened to them in the past. So that the upshot of that is that they're usually very depressed. Depression, I believe, is the result of repressed anger that's not been dealt with. They are carrying around physical diseases because the energy pattern that's been created by the victimization has become stuck in their physical body, so eventually it's going to come out as a disease. And the way that I started this work was that I made a link between the onset of cancer, or the causation of cancer, and a lack of forgiveness. I made that link intuitively at the beginning, just through my experience of working with these people, but then when I checked out the research, I found that to be true by scientific research, that there is a causation factor between cancer and a lack of forgiveness, or an inability to process the emotion. That's really what the link is. And so in order to help people who have such diseases as cancer and many other diseases, especially those that are related to the immune system, I developed radical forgiveness as a way to help these people to release that toxic energy that's being held in their physical and emotional and spiritual body.
Great. A tiny bit shorter on the answer, because it needs to be edited in. That'd be great. I think you just said that there's a tool or a method for releasing anger and emotion held inside. Can you talk more about the tool for releasing held in anger?
Right. All the tools that we have created to help people do this, to help people release this anger, follow a specific pattern.
Okay, now if you start over, the tools that we have developed to help people release locked in anger or held anger, something like that.
Okay. So the tools that we've developed to help people release this energy of anger, resentment, and fear, and all those kind of toxic energies, follow a specific, what was it I said before?
What are you talking about?
Format.
So just start over again, the tools that we've developed.
So all these tools that we've developed in order to help people release the anger, release the resentment, and all the other toxic energies that we are carrying as a result of feeling victimized, follow a specific pattern. And there are 5 stages in this pattern. And the first one is always to explain what happened. Tell the story. Tell it from the victim's standpoint. Be angry. Let the anger come up to the surface. And we feel this is very important for us in the radical forgiveness process, to allow the feelings to come up, because you cannot heal what you don't feel. So,
Perfect. And then you cannot heal what you don't feel. that gives a chance to edit and, you know, refocus and everything. Then number 2.
Okay. So number 2 is, in fact, to feel the feelings and to use whatever means that you need to get that feeling coming up. And we've got several ways to do that, which I won't go into now. The third step is to somehow begin to collapse the story in such a way that we begin to exercise some compassion, some understanding, some mercy, and to then take out of the story all our own interpretations, our own unrealistic expectations, so we bring it down to a more manageable form, and also at that point begin to see it from the other person's perspective, to walk in their shoes for a little while. Okay. Now, that is as far as conventional forgiveness can go. That's it. But with radical forgiveness, we take it one step further, the most radical step. And that is to say that whatever happened, even though it seems terrible, and even though it's, on the surface it seems like I'm being hurt and being victimized by this other person, there is a reason why this is happening at the spiritual level. Okay?
Great.
And what I mean by that is that our spiritual self, our soul, whatever you want to call that, has in fact created this circumstance for its own purpose, for its learning, for its growth, and may even have set it up that way before we came into the life experience. Okay? We may even have contracted with these other people who appear on the surface at the human level to be our enemies, but we, in all likelihood, have set that up with them before we incarnated, and have made an agreement with them. So at a certain point in my life, when I have reached a certain
Just start over all over again. You started at a certain point, and we may have actually agreed that at a certain point in my life.
Yeah. We may even have agreed prior to incarnating